This video captures the first time Lauren Blumstein met her daughter, Haley. It was also the last time. Less than 24 hours later, Lauren was dead.
When she found out she was pregnant, she was the happiest she'd ever been.
As an orthopedic surgeon, Larry was more likely to spot a problem than husbands who aren't doctors. He says her pregnancy was routine.
She had a little bump in the front. Other than that, she really didn't look all that pregnant the whole time. She was skinny with a little bump.
But during labor, Lauren complained about a sharp pain in her back. The doctors increased the epidural and it went away. 90 minutes after delivering her baby, her blood pressure skyrocketed.
This pain progressively got worse and worse to completely intolerable.
The doctors gave her morphine, but then Lauren complained her head hurt.
And then I was looking at her and I realized that half of her face, if she smiled, wasn't moving. And then she was paralyzed on half of her body. And they called the doctor back in and the nurse, and they called a code stroke. And she looked at me and said, "I love you." And that was it. That's the last thing she ever said.
Lauren had severe preeclampsia, a condition triggered by pregnancy that is responsible for roughly 7% of maternal deaths in the United States. She died in this building, the Monmouth Medical Center in New Jersey, surrounded by colleagues. It's where she worked as a nurse in its neonatal intensive care unit.
All reasons why Lauren's death should have been shocking. But in the United States, women are 3 times more likely than Canadians and 6 times more likely than Scandinavians to die during the maternal period. That's the period that begins with pregnancy and ends a year after giving birth. Maternal mortality is rising here, while it's falling in most industrialized countries. According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than half of these deaths are preventable. Research suggests that because babies are still far more likely to die in childbirth than mothers, the focus from a policy and resource perspective is on saving babies, not mothers. When something goes wrong with mom, many healthcare providers aren't prepared to handle it.
And what you have in some instances in the United States is brilliant responses from places that are prepared and less than adequate responses in other settings.
Say hi.
Larry is determined to keep Lauren's memory alive for 5-year-old Haley and for other women.
I feel Lauren's love around us all the time, and I know she's watching her, and I want Haley to know that, and I want some good to come out of Lauren's death.
Karina Huber, CGTN, New Jersey.